Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our home renovation remodel thingamabob, whatever we're calling it. Today, or this episode, we're going to be working on getting the great room and the office finished up to completion. So last time we made all of the trim to go in here, all of the window trim, the jambs, and then the baseboards for in here, as well as the office, which is down under the sunroom over there. So today we're getting started with the windows. We're going to make them as a single unit that can be then just slid into place after they're assembled. So we're pulling out all of the existing trim, which is just the standard, what is it, like 2.25? Is that what it is? 2.5? Something, your basic, simple, beveled casing.
Yep.
With a sticker on it?
A 316.
Ooh. Beefy. So the sills go in first, so we did a little bit of layout here to make sure everything's going to work out. They're still over width, so they got to get cut down to their final length. But we have the casing, which will drop down on top of here, and we have the jamb, which is coming up from the window. So this whole section here gets removed. Some of you probably wondered why I didn't bother going all the way to the end, because I knew this was going to get chopped out anyway. The only part that's ever going to be here is this little bit here. So we have a little bit of a layout issue. When we actually lay them out, we're a little bit long. But luckily, we have a whole mill shop and a guy who can run a router right below here. There's my workbench. Just drop right through the floor. Okay, so from the router collection, I left these all set up from yesterday. So I need this one, which is the underside, and this one, which is the top side, that bull nose. So. Okay, so I'll cut the profile on the end, rip it to width, and then hand it back up to Donovan. It's happy now. The scraper is happy.
What is the multi-tool?
The multi-tool, yes. Where's that micro bevel you put on here? Right there?
It's got multiple sides.
That one time.
You don't have to leave just on one side. Come on. Can you lift your hand up a little bit? Go ahead. I can tell we got nails. And that top is gonna give us some problems.
Someone should like hold these, huh?
Yeah, that would have been nice. Oh, that was the kitchen. Here, here.
Okay, so our jam assembly is fitting in here really nicely. We got a good width and everything. The only problem we're having is with the final depth. The windows have this like conjoiner thing here, which is sticking out a little bit. So on the old ones, they had notched around this thing. So these ones have 4 all the way around. So I went to the shop and made this little notching jig. This is going to guide a pattern bit through here and clear out a little notch for that. Is there an actual word for that? I like my conjoiner piece.
It's kind of, that's, yeah, it is.
Okay, so this one is all set. So this window is bowed in the middle. Was it bowed this way? Or came in this side? Is that what it was?
The top's narrower, the jamb is narrower at the top than the bottom.
So the window's like in here, like kicked back into the room and bowed this way. So that jamb is now kind of scribe-ish to the window. So let's get it sitting there a little flatter. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Donovan will be here tomorrow. I'll be off doing other things, but he is going to be working on building out the rest of the details for the window frame things. And yeah, we'll see how this place looks after tomorrow.
Hello.
these are the big returns.
Yeah, these are the big, this is the big return here.
That's the big return molding. Wait till we get to the small ones.
You got a little more meat to it.
And now onto the window down here, which is going to be built out a little differently. Built out in place because it's
Nah, Chad for doing this.
kind of a crazier one. And there's the sill. Just over there now? Or here too, a little bit. Thank you.
We'll see them for you.
So we're starting to get things mocked up. We got the sill in place and now working on the extension jams. We added this rabbit detail to the jams so that it will lap over the existing jams and give us a little step and give us an actual positive reference. And then these just get pocket screwed into the existing jams around the window. And then we're just going to assemble the side and top jams as a unit. And they'll allow us to put those in as one thing. They're all attached together. And then they can all kind of go onto the actual window jam thing. I don't know how you're going to do this. Try and hold it here.
Yeah, I'm trying to balance and get this in the same place. Good?
I think so.
Good?
Hang on. Okay.
Good.
Tip up a bit. Okay.
Good?
Yep.
Believe.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
That's in there. There you go.
It's in there.
Okay. That's exactly 3/4. Oh yeah. Okay, on to the head casing thing.
The mini head case.
Baby head case. Look how tiny it is. It's so cute. So there is almost all of the trim details installed. The last thing we have is going to be the cove molding or the cap molding that's going to go on top of the head casing. Upstairs, this is the one we used, but actually goes this way. But this is going to be a little too big or too tall to go on here because we have this really small or very short head casing. So I'm going to go to the shop and make something a little less significant than this. This one is 1 1/8 inch tall by 1 inch wide. And we're thinking maybe something more along the lines of like 7/8 by 7/8 or 7/8 by 3/4 or something. Might be a little bit nicer. So time for some more custom millwork, I guess. So here is what I'm thinking. First off, I can get rid of this little step detail here and just have the cove, and I can play around with the height overall and shave it off of there. So this one here will leave me with a 7/8 by 1 inch profile for the cove. And I can do this exact thing using the same setup in the router in the scrap piece of 5/4 that I've been making these out of. So that makes that process pretty easy. And after the cove is cut, I can just go to the table saw and just rip away all this extra bits to reveal just that little bit of the actual cove molding. So, more workout for the cove bit. So there is that one all framed out and ready to go for some paint prep. And then these up here are all assembled and ready to go for paint prep as well. It's pretty crazy how much like this style of window treatment, window casing, window molding detail things add to the overall windows, because they look a lot bigger now. It really like just elevates things and makes things just that much better. The whole arm span better. So next time I'll be working on some paint. So all of the window trim things need to be paint prepped, and then they need to be painted. These ones will paint off the wall, and then they'll be installed. The one downstairs will be painted in place, and I have all of this whole room to paint and downstairs to paint as well. And then we'll put the baseboards in and do all that. So we're getting pretty close to having these 2 rooms wrapped up, which I think will be nice. It'll be nice to have these spaces at least usable again and done, especially in here for the kids. They've been out of this room for like 1.5 years now. So it'd be nice to have this space back. So yeah, that's going to do it for this time. Thank you, as always, for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments on the window thingies or anything with the home renovation or model or whatever else, please feel free to leave a comment. As always, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.